Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Undercurrent. I'm Bass Tadros and I'll be your host. We've got some amazing stories lined up, and first up we've got the Iranian Community Arts Exhibition in Northbridge. This week on Thursday we got to go there and speak to some of their amazing talented artists and have a look at their rich Persian heritage on display. We're at the Northbridge Piazza and we're actually about to walk into the Persian Art Exhibition here in Perth, and it's absolutely beautiful. We've got so many talented local Persian artists who are exhibiting some of the most amazing, exquisite artworks in the world right here.
On behalf of Iranian community of Western Australia, I would like to welcome you to the Persian Art Exhibition.
I'm with this beautiful artist here in the Persian Arts Festival in Perth. Nagin, how are you today?
Good, thanks. How are you going?
Very well. What inspired you to do this beautiful work here behind me?
Actually, they're like calligraphy, and just like I've started that one since I was 15. And you know, it's just like in Iranian culture, it's a part of it. Like art and mystical philosophy is a part of our culture, and you know, like art is a universal language that can bring people together and can give the message of peace and friendship. So, like I chose poems from Rumi, one of the like great poets of Iran. So like most of the like these paintings like a mix of styles. Like this one is laser cutting on plywood, and that one is watercolor and like calligraphy on canvas.
You're one of the amazing talents on exhibition here at this exhibition centre for the Persian Arts. What inspired you to get into this form of artwork?
Yeah, it has been a long time that I'm doing this calligraphy, about 10 years now. So when I was in Iran, it's a part of our culture. And the city that I came from is Shiraz, which is mostly known, and the people of the Shiraz mostly known that are really involved and into literacy. And calligraphy and poems are the two type of things that are binded to literacy as well. So that atmosphere made me interested in this type of work, and I started doing this type of calligraphy. I started calligraphy a style of shikast nastaliq, which you can see here. And after a few years working on that, and I started doing English calligraphy as well. And I started that with copper plates, English. Then when I came here after my first exhibition here, from the feedbacks that I got from the people of here, I started thinking of creating and designing a new style in English using somehow the pattern of Persian calligraphy. So I combined English Gothic style with Persian Kreshme style and reached a new idea and a new design of calligraphy, which I've named it coquetry. And you can see three type of works here that has been done with coquetry style.
Good morning, and you're welcome to our exhibition.
Thank you so much, Matty. Much appreciated. And so, what are your what inspired you to put this beautiful artwork together?
Good question. Actually, my passion is about flying. So when I got here in Australia, I decided to establish my own business in about aerial photographies, and this is my first gallery and exhibition I've done actually here in Australia, and there are my artworks here.
Excellent. What's brought you to the Persian Art Exhibition?
My wife and family suggested it to me this morning of all times, because it's the Persian Iranian New Year celebrations coming soon, and we went to the celebrations last night, and we thought we'd come here to the artist show, and I am very impressed with the work here.
Mata, these are your two pieces of art here?
Yes, its name is Mu'arraq in Iran, but in English we say marquetry, wooden marquetry or wooden mosaic.
So wooden mosaic, talk us through that for someone like me who doesn't know much about it. Do you use any paint or any color, or do you use just the wood?
no artificial material or color or painting is used. All the pattern is made of wood, different wood, very small pieces of wood from different trees wood, so we can have a different color. For example, walnut trees wood give us a wide range of brown, or when we need, for example, yellowish white, we can use orange trees wood.
Thank you very much. Thanks for coming.
Bass Tadros for Undercurrent. The Consumer Protection Awards was on last week, and it was recognising individuals, businesses and governments that were making gains in raising awareness in consumer issues. Annabelle Panardi was there speaking to some of the winners at the ceremony.
Consumer protection is an integral aspect of any functioning society, which aims to create a fair environment for West Australian consumers. This year's 2018 West Australian Consumer Protection Award ceremony recognises the work of individuals, non-for-profit organisations and local services, which dedicate much of their work to improving and providing awareness about consumer issues. Today we're fortunate enough to speak to some award recipients about the work that they've been doing.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I will now ask Minister Johnston to come forward, please, and announce the winner in the Rona Oakley category.
Thank you. So the winner of the Rona Oakley Award is Nanette Williams.
Now we're here with Nanette Williams, who just received the Rona Oakley Award. Nanette, tell us a little bit about what you've achieved.
Oh gosh, it's 36 years of work up in the Pilbara area. I think essentially right way back when I first went there, to live in Karratha that is, I realised there were so many health services they didn't have.
And what improvements would you still like to see implemented for people living in the Pilbara? What services do you think are still lacking there?
Domestic violence is very high, and we could look at more personnel there. Also alcohol consumption, drug and alcohol consumption, which leads in turn to mental health issues. More mental health services would be excellent.
So the winner of the Dick Fletcher Award is Consumer Credit Legal Service WA.
Consumer Credit Legal Service is a community legal centre that provides free legal advice and representation to consumers in Western Australia in the areas of banking and finance and consumer law. We operate a daily telephone advice line, so anyone in WA can call up with an inquiry around credit and debt or consumer credit, and they will receive a one-off telephone advice from us. We also provide some representation on matters that are more complicated and that we cannot give a one-off telephone advice to. So we'll take matters through the Ombudsman schemes and we will try and get the matter resolved for the client.
Winner of the Kids Safe WA Award is Nature Playgrounds.
And now we're here with Stuart Windsor, who won the Kids Safe Award for his Nature Playgrounds. Stuart, tell us a little bit about Nature Playgrounds.
We construct playgrounds from natural products, stone, logs. We use a lot of recycled products, and the idea behind it is to get children back out into nature, the way we played when we were kids, get out into the bush and have some fun.
And can you tell us a little bit about the design process to ensure that the children's safety is the utmost important?
Depending on the complexity of the playground, we generally know whether we've met compliance ourselves or not. If we're unsure about any elements, we'll always shoot those plans across to KidSafe WA to review.
The first winner of the Ruby Hutchinson Award is Daniel Emerson.
With this particular report, I was just shining a light on the fact that the very successful Project Sunbird had essentially been put in hiatus because of some resourcing decisions by WA Police, and it's something that hopefully can get back up and running again because it was very valuable.
And do you think Australian people that are being involved in overseas scams is on the rise?
Well, all the indicators are that this sort of criminality is increasing with the rise of the internet, and Also, there are a lot of lonely people out there who do get, I guess, suckered into thinking that the people that they're sending money to are in love with them, when really it's just most likelihood a West African scam. So it's very sad, but yeah, it does seem to be on the increase.
Second Ruby Hutchinson Award winner is Noongar Radio.
For a long time there hasn't been really a voice for Indigenous people, so it's good that there is Noongar Radio.
And what does the recognition mean for you and your team?
As it proves that we're doing something of benefit for the community.
Do you think that the problems regarding Australian consumers is on the rise constantly?
Well, I think the more people know about their rights, the better it is. We need to make sure that we have good products here that are safe and that we don't have people missing out on their entitlements. So they're the things that we're really worried about.
I'm Annabelle Panardi reporting for Undercurrent.
Western Australia's involvement in the space industry has received a massive boost recently, thanks to a Space Innovation Network meeting that's happened in the past week. Michael So was there to speak to some of the enthusiasts and find out what the future holds for Western Australia's space industry.
Western Australia looks set to play a key role in the science industry, and I'm here at SciTech for the Space Innovation Network's inaugural meeting to find out more.
West Australia has history going back to the 1960s in the space industry, so we have actually got the biggest space industry in Australia already in terms of radio astronomy, optical astronomy, in both the civilian and the military sector. So the future for space here is very exciting. We've already got the skills and expertise in our universities, in industry, and with the European Space Agency, now with NASA. So we've got all the relationships. We've got the Square Kilometre Array coming online, and we've got the Desert Fireball Network. We've got so many different research projects that we are well placed to take the lead in Australia in the space industry.
Yeah, so what I'll be speaking about is that at the University of Queensland, I'm part of a group that's called the Centre for Hypersonics, and we've done research on hypersonic flight for many, many years. And we've developed a new type of engine that can replace rockets for launching things to space. And so I'm going to talk about the use of these new engines. They're called scramjets, and what they do, they enable space launch to be reusable, so that when you launch a satellite, you don't just throw your whole rocket system into the ocean. You can actually just fly back to base and then launch another one the following week. And it's just some new technology that we're trying to apply to the space industry.
Well, in the European Space Agency, we have a partnership with all international and several member states, and with Australia we have an ongoing activity since more than 30 years. We are hosting in Australia one of our deep space stations. We have 3 around the world, and the one we are hosting in New Norcia was the first one for us. These deep space stations are critical to communicate with deep space spacecraft around Mars, Moon and beyond. And we want to foster the partnership with the Australian government in the near future by building a second 35-metre antenna in New Norcia.
Well, West Australia has all the elements here. We've already got at least 8 space stations here, civilian and military, and we've got all the researchers here. So we've got all of the elements and the expertise already here to really take advantage of the new developments in space industry here. Well, I think what we're doing here is very important today. It's getting the word out that we already do have significant expertise here in Australia, and it's supporting and encouraging our universities and the programs they support, and again through wonderful institutions like SciTech, to spread the word and encourage young West Australians to study STEM, and that they too could have a career in the space industry right here in Perth.
In fact, we have only just very recently completed an event which saw many people in SciTech itself, in our premises here. We actually have Innovation Fest coming up shortly, and that's going to be a 4-day high school festival which brings more than 1,000 students here, so that's focusing around innovation. More recently we had the Space Academy, which saw a group of students coming together to work with science and space organisations to really develop those skills in that STEM science space.
Well, my job as a Senator for Western Australia is really to get the word out, to really promote globally, but also in Canberra, who many don't know what we do here in Western Australia. So my role is really to understand what we've got here and then to promote it elsewhere.
Well, the earlier people start learning their craft and learning about the industry that they would like to eventually be involved in, obviously that's going to be better for them and better for the industry. It's critically important that we start training our young people early with regard to the opportunities that are available to them in the STEM space. We are seeing numbers coming out with regard to the analysis around the growth in jobs in the future, and 75% of the jobs that have the fastest growth rates of the future require STEM skills. So by that I mean science, technology, engineering and mathematics skills. So it's vitally important that people understand that they will need these skills early in their education and training if they want to be in those industries of the future. So the earlier the better.
Well, what Innovate Australia are doing here today and launching this new network is very important because, again, it's bringing people together to collaborate, to understand what other people are doing and to get the word out and to promote the industry. So I congratulate Innovate Australia for another great initiative.
We have a number of different programs that we run throughout the year. As I mentioned, the Space Academy, that's one of our hallmark events in the space, but we have a range of other things. So we encourage people to have a look at our website, scitech.org.au, and find out what other space-based programs we have available.
This is Michael So reporting for Undercurrent.
Well, don't go anywhere. We'll be back after the break with some more stories on Undercurrent.